let off the hook a few times, but he came through. He's shown his character. He's not only a great potter break builder, he's a great competitor. And Ronnie O'Sullivan wins the Masters for the 4th time with a great victory, 10 frames to 8.
Well done. Get you in a minute, okay? Mark? Well, you've played your part today in one of the best matches ever seen in a Masters final. Well played, Mark Selby. Thank you very much. There was a lot of effort went in today's match. A lot of games could have gone either way. Tough one to take, I should imagine.
Yeah, it was, but also at the same time, I mean, I've come here, obviously defending champion, and to get to the final half seam was a great feat for me. And obviously, if I'd have gone on to beat Ronnie in the final, it would have been like a dream come true, and you couldn't really have wrote the script. But like you say, I lost a couple of scrappy frames and probably should have pinched a few more and ended up losing some big frames, and obviously that cost me the match.
But all in all, a good week.
Yeah, very good.
Well played, Mark Selby. Ronnie. Well done, mate. Well, that was a tough day, wasn't it?
It was always going to be tough, and I need to cue well and pot clean balls to kind of compete with Mark. Got his name for me now. But because in the safety and his awareness around the table, you know, a lot of the frames were tight, and I wasn't getting any rhythm going, and a bit of the game there, you know, I wasn't really getting much balls either, and I was fighting my emotions all day really, and then I found a bit of form, and I was just pleased that I was able to compete towards the end of the final, because such a great crowd here, and you know, it was nice to finish off with decent snooker as far as I was concerned, and the biggest thing I can't believe is that, you know, with a new cue, that's the best achievement I've ever done in snooker.
But you know, you got a new cue before you come here. Did you see that as a challenge? You know, I've got a tournament to play with a new cue.
Not really, because I mean, it's a nice cue and all that, but there's certain shots that I'm just not comfortable with. And but it was the best of what John Parrish could offer me at the time, and he'd have to get back to work and get me one that I'm really happy with. So, but you know, my friend who's in Bali, he can have that cue as a present because he's been good to me, and that's a little present for him.
But today, I think it was persistence as well, wasn't it? Lots of frames could have gone either way. Frames you were behind, and you kept going, kept plugging away. Well,
you need heart, you need determination, you need desire, as well as having ability and all that. And I needed that today. I needed to be resilient, and I love winning. I love it, you know, and I was just competing. I was just trying to compete all day, because Mark's, you know, a fantastic player. He's won so many tournaments now that it's a 50-50 match now with me and him and a lot of the top guys. But I'm just pleased to have come out on top, and I love it.
Well, congratulations. Well played, Ronnie. Your champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ladies and gentlemen, to make the presentation, please welcome World Snooker's Commercial Director, Miles Pearce. The magnificent runner-up, receiving the silver medal, the jester from Leicester, Mark Selby. And the winner, receiving the trophy and the title, Masters Champion 2009, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Fourth Masters title for Ronnie. with a cue he only picked up a week ago. Stephen Hendry's got 6. Ronnie now moves second in the order of merit as far as Masters titles is concerned. His mum there to congratulate him. A sensational performance with a new cue, which he's given away, so he needs another one. John Parrott, Steve Davis and Ken Doherty with me. Steve, just put this into context for us, please.
Well, I think Ronnie O'Sullivan put it into context when he was talking to John Parrott. I don't think I've ever seen Ronnie O'Sullivan as animated as Pete after winning. Sometimes when he's won, he's been down. But I think it was a fantastic achievement, and he knew how well he had to fight in that match today against a fantastic Mark Selby. What a standard of snooker, what an advert for snooker, how exciting.
Ken, he uses these things to test himself, perhaps.
I think he does, Ray, but I mean, I think overall the whole week has been such a huge standard, and it was that it was going to go right almost to the wire. And 2 players played a part in this final, Mark Selby and Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it was just brilliant.
John, just great entertainment. Snooker doesn't seem to be dying if that's the standard.
Absolutely not, Ray. We saw 4 of the best quarter-finals ever played in the history of snooker, in my opinion. We've seen a magnificent final today. 2 players giving it absolutely everything. And O'Sullivan won today through persistence, in my opinion. He kept going, he kept plugging away, didn't have a great run apart at times in the match. You know, we usually dug in deep.
Steve, he's the Masters champion, the world champion, he's the world #1. He's setting the standards for the rest.
Yes, and with a new cue, that is quite astonishing. He is the most brilliant player I think probably the game's ever seen. But you've got to say there are some excellent players around who are pushing him even harder and harder. If Ronnie O'Sullivan's going to stay at the top, he's got to keep his mind on his job, because there's plenty who want to take his title. The standard seems to be getting ever better. Who knows where it's going to end up? Yeah,
Mark Selby deserves great credit.
He does. He really defended his title valiantly, and you know, he's a bit unlucky. He lost a few frames. He probably should have won today, but I think that was the difference. But still in all, he was a true champion himself.
John, over the course of the week, Ronnie was terrific, Mark Selby's been terrific, but other players, Neil Robertson, Steve Maguire, had patches that are looking really good. It's terrific.
Oh yeah, well that match I commentated on, 5 consecutive centuries in that one. That's a new one at the Masters with Maguire and Robertson. That was a superb standard, but it's been like that all week. We shouldn't be surprised. They're the best 16 players in the world, and that's why they're here, because they're that good.
Steve, there was a real buzz in Wembley here this evening, wasn't there? A massive buzz.
Yeah, there certainly was. I mean, the crowd also I thought were fantastic as well, because sometimes when there's been a London-based player, they've been quite biased to the detriment possibly of the other player. Not the case here. I thought it was great. The respect they gave Mark Selby, they love him as well. I think there's a new generation of snooker fan comes along that is split now in who they particularly like to see play. I think they appreciate all the players playing now.
Gone midnight. Next up for Snooker's Elite, well, it's the Welsh Open in Newport, then they're off to China for the China Open, and then to the Crucible. Ronnie O'Sullivan will defend the world title, world #1, Masters champion, will go in the search of his 3rd world title success. What odds he'll end up playing Mark Selby, who was the runner-up in the World Championship in 2007. 13 weeks to go till everyone decamps to the Crucible and to Sheffield. And coverage from the Crucible starts on Saturday, April the 18th, and the balls will still be getting potted in Sheffield 17 days later when the 2009 World Championship comes to a conclusion. Thanks, guys. That's it. We close in Wembley Arena now by congratulating Ronnie O'Sullivan, a master of his craft. Bye for now.